Hey everyone, it's Don, aka Captain Cross-Stitch, coming to you this fine 16th of August, already halfway through the month, and this is my channel about cross-stitch and maybe some other things you didn't know you needed to know. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, it's good to see you again. But this episode is a special between my regular Floss Tube episodes. This is the my recap of the Grace Notes stitching retreat that took place in Allentown, Pennsylvania, the weekend of August 6th through 9. And I figured I'd do this now while it was sort of fresh in my brain. And believe it or not, this is my third attempt at making this video. I've actually made it twice. The first time I left out a big chunk of stuff, and since I don't edit, I had to redo it, and then I redid it with the stuff I forgot, and then for some strange reason, the video would not upload to YouTube. So here I am recording it a third time. Hopefully when I'm done and I try to upload it, I don't run into the same problem. But anyway, welcome, and I'm just going to dive right in. We're going to start off with the whips that I worked on while I was at retreat. So for those of you who don't know, the Grace Notes Stitching Retreat is put on by Grace Notes Fabrics, the wonderful Simpson family, Corinne and John, their daughter Colleen, and various other people that help out that's part of their group. But they put on a wonderful retreat every year, and this year they also had a trunk show from Shakespeare's Peddler, and I got to meet, I always forget her name, Teresa Annette. She was there, and got to meet and talk with her and purchase a few things. She had some wonderful pieces displayed. It made me want to buy all of them, but unfortunately, since I was on a budget, very tight budget this year compared to previous years, due to my continued inability to find anybody to hire me with my 30 plus years of experience in accounts receivable, payment posting, for medical billing. So if anybody knows anything that's remote, I'd love to apply. But anyway, let me start off with my whips. And this year I sat at a completely new table. I did know 3 of the people there at my table, Carol and Mary. Carol is from my regular stitch group that I meet with here locally in Maryland. And then her friend Mary from Florida. Then there was Allison, who's from another group in Southern Maryland. I've met her before. And then the 3 new people at my table was Nora, Kathy, and Christy. So, and then the table right next to me was also totally representing the group that I stitch with. And that was Kayla, Heather, Ellen, Jen, Caitlin, and Sue. They were all at the table right next to us. So we had a really big turnout for our group. for this retreat. And I believe initial registration for current members of the group I think is open already. I don't know that I'll be able to go next year. It would be the first time I missed if I don't go, which would sadden me greatly. But anyway. So the first one of the, and this is in no particular order. So this is my Palestinian tiles. I was able to complete this section here and finish that off. There's one more big block of stuff over here, and then I can start moving over into going to the flip side to get a little bit closer to being done. I actually started this at the very first Grace Notes retreat, so this is 3 years old. This is on a piece of opalescent, just kind of, beige fabric. It was from something I picked up at Joann's, I think. I'm not sure if it's Witchell or Charles Craft or whatever the label was. I don't recall. Next up is my I guess I should unfold it some more so you can see more of it. So some of you may recognize it. It's White Winter Moth by Kathy Barrick. And it's being stitched on a piece of 14 count Mestasa from Grace Notes Fabrics. Sorry about the light shining through. Let's see if I can hold up something behind it. I'm having such difficulty. Come on, you dumb butt. Okay, there we go. Now you can get more of a feel for what's the fabric color and what is a light source. But yeah, not too many colors involved, which is great. You can, as you can see, I'm doing a big bunch of the same color, but I'm enjoying that. I forget when I started this. I think maybe 2 years ago. In my moth bag from Shiva Designs. And then next up, I worked on the Coachman from Cottage Garden Samplings. So I had all of that brown already stitched, so I started on the part that's connected to the wagon thing that he's pulling behind. So this is all, I think it's $37.99 DMC. It's like a dark charcoal. It's not black. It's close to black, but it's not quite black. And that's on 14 count hot chocolate by Grace Knows Fabric. And yes, if you don't know me by now, my preferred count is 14 because my eyesight is kind of crap. But I did start something new, I'll show you in a bit, that is not on 14, and I'll get to that in a bit. And then the last thing that I worked on was my Joan Elliott Crescent Moon Dragon. And what I worked on was all the back stitching that's in here. I completed all the back stitching. I started on some of this Krynek, the purple, and there's some in this forehead there in the eye. There's a little bit of gold Krynek I still have to put in, but then that'll complete all the back stitch for the head. And then I'm going to work my way down the neck and do that next. But yeah, it's looking really good. I just wish I could make more progress on it, but too many nice things you want to stitch, you know. In my Pinky Promises embroidered dragon bag. Can't really see the lining. There's too much crap in there. Okay, what else do I want to get into? I guess I'll get into haul now. So this year's new bag vendor was a company called Annette's 717 Style, and she was also, Annette was also at the retreat, and she was very lovely. I got to meet her. Her bags are gorgeous. I only bought 4 this year, again because of budgetary restrictions, but I got 4 really gorgeous bags. So this is the first one I got. So she had a lot of themed bags this year. So there's a lot of Christmas, a lot of fall, Halloween type of stuff. She even had some sports stuff. She didn't have any ravens. I would have bought one of those if she would have had one, but she had eagles and Buffalo Bills. So if you're fans of those teams, so that's my hint to you, and that for next year, if you can find some Ravens, Baltimore Ravens fabric, I would definitely purchase a bag from you. And then there's the inside, kind of a wrapping paper, ribbons kind of thing going on. And yes, I already put a project in it. This was something my Lizzie Kate Christmas mystery 3-parter that I started last month. And so yeah, already got a project in there. And then this is another bag that I got. Very fall-like. Got some sunflowers and pumpkins. And inside the bag, I've got some colorful fall foliage going on. And yes, I already have a project in here, and this is actually a new start that I just started a week ago that I said I was going to start in my previous video. This is the autumn garden. And I'm stitching it on a piece of 16 count. That's right, you heard it, you heard me. 16. Huh. I'm having issues with the okay. And this is my start. So you can see I'm kind of zipping along. I'm liking the coverage that the 16 count offers. With 2 strands over one, yeah, I don't see any show through of the fabric. And like I said, it's on 16 count. This is French Vanilla from Grace Notes Fabrics. And my wonderful Caterpillar cross stitch needle minder. They make excellent. One of a few companies that makes very good needle minders. Primrose Cottage has some very good ones too. To me, its strength of magnet is, I like my needle minders to be thin and flat, and the magnet to be very strong. I hate tiny magnets that, like, you know, you breathe on it and it falls off. All right. All right. Other purchases. Well, no, this wasn't really a purchase, technically. So our gift bags this year had a coupon for a free quarter, fat quarter of our choice. So I just picked up a neutral that I didn't have. It's a gingerbread latte. It's a 14 count. So that'll go in my stash for some random future project. I bought a piece of and then all of my fabric purchases, with the exception of that one that I just showed you, were all for projects. I had specific projects in mind. This is it now. This is 18 count. Yeah, I said it, 18. Look at me go. Ooh. But this is Nouveau from Grace Notes Fabrics. It's still technically Ada. I haven't shifted over into a non-Ada just yet. Now I have stitched on linen before. Don't get me wrong. I did a Lizzie Cape project years ago. That was on linen. I didn't much care for it, to be honest. It was annoying. So anyway, but what this is for the shores of Hawk Run Hollow. So yeah, so sometime next year, this is a next year project. I plan on starting this ginormous piece. Yeah, I mean, that was a fat half, in case you were wondering. It had to be big to be a Hawk Run Hollow piece because they're ginormous. Next piece of fabric I bought was a fat half of gray stone. It's also, and that's a 16 count. And the project this is for is none other than Lady of the Flag. Not sure when I'll start it, but more than likely next year sometime. Haven't decided. Whenever the mood hits me. And this is also going in a new bag from Annette's 717 style. And this is my new patriotic bag, private bag. Love that eagle. And we the people. Just gotta buy all the. I have the bead packs. I have that. I just need the other threads. Embellishment pack. That's what I meant to say. Oh yeah, and I didn't show you before, but all of her bags have really good charms that fit the theme. This is another new bag that I got. And another moth bag. The honeycomb design on the inside. And a new piece of fabric I got is Tiger Lily in an 18 count. So it's a nice sherbety orange color. And that's gonna be for Tommy's pumpkin patch. That's gonna be cute. Cute as a bug in a rug. All right. And this next piece I got is called Mary, and it's still Ada, but this is 20 count, so I'm getting up there. I'm guessing this is probably going to be my limit on size for now, at least. And that's going to be, I'm going to stitch Stars and Stripes. Stars and Stripes, baby. And that's just in an old bag that I had. Okay, forgot one. Hold on. Sorry about that. I had to grab something else to show you and a beverage for myself because I was starting to dry out. And of course, as always, brought to you unofficially by Diet American Dew. Cheers. Okay, and the last piece of fabric that I bought is actually another piece of Mary, but this time, this is my highest count that I'm gonna mess with, I think, for now. I don't know how well I'm gonna do with it, but it's a 28 count. It's Lugano. And this is for a worthy patriot. This is going to be a monster if I can do it. I'm going to try it on the 28, but if I can't handle it visually, if it's too tiny, and I'm going to have to come up with a solution or try it on a different size or something. But that's all kitted, ready to go in my awesome bag. What the hell? Beads are falling off. I just noticed the beads on the zipper are falling off. I'll have to come up with a solution for that. Okay, so we're about 20, almost 30 minutes. All right, so that's bags and fabrics are done. Let's look at patterns I purchased. This one was, this is called Hope from Shakespeare's Peddler. This was the freebie pattern we got in our swag bag. Sorry about the glare. So, and that's the one I got signed by Teresa Annette. Happy stitching. All right, other purchased patterns. I got Jenny Bean's Christmas sampler. That's really sweet. I love the design, love the colors and design. So I'm thinking that Leah, the Bloom and Stitcher, would love to do this if she is not aware of it already. If you're not watching her, you're missing out. She is fabulous. Especially that video with her mom, that was so cute. All right, I got from Rosewood Manor, I got Celebration. And believe it or not, I was at my regular stitch group yesterday, and one of the most wonderful people you would ever meet, Caitlin, she brought me, because I'm not really sure, I'm not sure how she knew I bought the pattern, or maybe I showed it off to her at the retreat, I don't remember. But she brought me two skeins of Rainbow Gallery, what's it called? I'm not sure. It's called Firework, I guess. So it's called for in the pattern, and she had ordered some and had gotten extras. So she brought them to me. That was so sweet. She's so sweet. And also from Shakespeare's Peddler, I got 4 seasons, if I can hold on to it. So I think I would prefer to do these individually instead of one big piece. So that's probably what I'll do. From the Blue Flower, I got Winter Phoenix. I would definitely have to change some colors on that. I feel that's too drab to be a Phoenix. Granted, I don't know why Winter Phoenix is more subdued, I guess. And then I got Monticello 1770, part of Twin Peaks Primitives presidential home series. This is the 3rd in the series. You got Thomas Jefferson and his wife Martha. Apparently, there were a lot of Marthas marrying presidents back then. But this is actually a collaboration. It's between Twin Peaks and Finally a Farm Girl. It's the other company. So that's really cool. I don't know that I would do all this stuff on the bottom. I would just kind of do the top part. And maybe the portraits, especially if there's a set of these, for each. I'm not sure how many of these, how big the series is. It's at least 3. But anyway. So, I did pick up some things off the freebie table. I'm going to call this Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. So, a company called Graphs by Goodman. Here's a U.S. Navy Blue Angels A4 Skyhawk. U.S. Air Force Thunderbird T-38. Thunderbirds are go. Anybody remember that? Space Shuttle. That's a really good picture. I would have to put that on either on some outer space looking fabric or something with sky on it or something. Clouds, and then Space Shuttle blast off. Again, I think I would have to change some of this. That looks kind of goofy. It's like almost looks like, a 5-year-old colored that in or something. Then trains. This has got called Trains 2. Company is called Pucker Brush. Never heard of them. But they got some charming train. I like this one with the Indians in it. That's pretty cool. A company called Art Cetera, Studio M. This is a 55 Chevy. My mother would have liked that. She liked those classic cars. This is Pontiac GTO from 65. I think I don't know what year we had one of these when I was a kid. I remember the one we had, it was like a beige color or something, but it was a convertible. I remember we went to a local drive-in movie when I was, I think, about 4 years old. We saw Planet of the Apes. Scared the bejesus out of me. And some more antique cars. That's a Jeanette Crew designs. And then American Automobiles by Patricia Gaskin designs. There's some cars from the late 20s, early 30s. And then cars to remember, but apparently cars not to remember that you already picked up one off the preview table 10 minutes ago. So I got two of them because I'm an idiot. So yeah, I'll be giving one of these away. This is something I will never stitch, but I got it because it's such a weird thing. The company is called Needle Made Designs from Hockerson, Delaware. This is the Italian Santa Claus, Babbo Natale, and he's holding this little witch doll, which is, in and of itself, it's a strange tale that is on the back. I'm not going to read it, but it's weird. And I got this because it's quilts, and I got a thing for quilt patterns. Just something to have in your library. Got this because it's Teresa Wensler, and I doubt I would ever stitch it, but it's pretty cool, and I'm just, anything with her name on it, if I can get it, I'll get it. Now this is pretty. I like this Delft style, that blue. You know, I don't know that I would stitch them maybe, but although there's a really gorgeous bird, actually two of them. I didn't notice this before. On the back, the pheasant. Those are pretty. Those I might do. Because I'm a sucker for birds. Birds are word. And a carousel chart. Leisure Arts. So a couple of different designs there, which I plan to do a carousel horse at some point. I actually have one. I think I have one kitted up, so maybe that'll come sooner than later. Not that one, but another one. From Custom Crafts, a Sue Doll Fantasy Art Piece, the Gateway Unicorns. When two unicorns touch their horns together next to Stonehenge, boom, a gateway opens up to somewhere, don't know where. Maybe the unicorn homeworld, Unicornia. I'm being a goof. All right, and then I got this because it's a Marbeck. The main design is kind of but it's got some other Christmassy kind of things on there. Again, I got it mainly because I'm kind of collecting these sort of half-heartedly whenever I find them. Jeanette Douglas. I think this was a really good find. It's a quilt mandala kind of design, and this is the same design, just stitched for 2 different color sets. The Christmas sampler. Elegant, simple but elegant, I think. Cottage quilts. I'm not sure. There's something off balance about this design. I don't know what it is. I almost think I would take this quilt piece out and then move this bottom border up so it's just under the house. So basically it would just be a picture of the house surrounded by these quilt patterns. It's just something about that is offsetting to me. I'm not sure. And then almost last, this is a Joan Elliott design. This is Peacock Treasures. I got this because it was Joan Elliott and a peacock, kind of a double whammy for me. I don't think I already have this, but if I do, I'll give it away. Give it away now. And then, last but not least, Stony Creek, called Gathering Place. A bunch of birds in winter. Love that woodpecker. And of course, you got cardinals and other winter birds. And I got a bunch of Stony Creek magazines. I'm not going to bore you to tears with those, but if I eventually come across something that was, chef's kiss kind of thing, then I'll share that with you in a future video. The only other one I'm going to show you is this issue of For the Love of Cross Stitch. For the Love of Cross Stitch, man. And I just got it because of the cover. Dinosaur. I love dinosaurs. I have a friend who likes dinosaurs, and that wouldn't be a difficult stitch to do. It would be time consuming, but it wouldn't be difficult. It's mostly block stitching. But maybe someday I'll do that. Okay, I think that's everything stitchy related to the retreat. They did announce next year's retreat already. I forget the exact weekend. I think it's July 31st through August 2nd, whatever that weekend is. I think that was what they said it was. But just go to the website and check it out, I'm sure, or Facebook page, and they'll have something there for sure. Trying to think if there's anything else that I should mention. But yeah, it's always fun, but the time goes by so quickly. I think it would have been more fun, but it seemed like a lot of people, maybe it's just because we're all getting old, that nobody really stayed up late. Like, by 9 o'clock, most of the people were out of there, including people from my table and the table that I know people from. So basically, I don't want to sit at a table by myself stitching. I could do that at home, or in my room even. Yeah, so it was fun. It was good to meet some new people. But there's nights, when I would just walk around late and see who was still hanging around and chit chat with them and, talk about whatever. And talk to John Simpson if he's not otherwise engaged in conversation. So that's really about it. I did want to share, so non-Stitchy related, I'm a comic book nerd, and I hadn't bought any new books in a couple months because of obvious reasons. But I did trade in some stuff over the weekend, and so I ended up trading for some new stuff, and I'm going to share two of them with you. So DC Comics, the makers of Superman, Batman, all that, the Justice League stuff, they have a line of books called Absolute. So they have like Absolute Batman, which is just a crazy book. Absolute Wonder Woman, Superman, Flash, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter. But they have a couple of new ones in their Absolute line, and they just started in the last couple of months. So they have Absolute Catwoman, which there is issue 2. But this has been the first couple issues have been really good. It's a good start. Well, I just like, it's like they take the stuff you know about the characters, and then they kind of put it into a blender of the character, their universe, other related characters, throw it all in a blender, and then spit something out that is recognizable but different. So yeah, so this has been really good thus far. I'm gonna forget. Sorry, I was looking for. Okay, yeah. So Scott Snyder is the writer, and the art is really good. Bengal is the artist, and then the other new Absolute title is Absolute Green Arrow. Look at that badass cover. Now this is an alternate cover. Look, that's the regular cover for number 1. But I like this one. This is, I've only read the first issue, but man, is it good! It's crazy. I can't wait to see how they explain what's happened thus far. But like I said, it's stuff is names and places and characters are recognizable, but they kind of put on edge and tilted it the wrong way, and so you're trying to figure out, okay. But we've already seen, a lot of the usual characters and names, Merlin and Dinah Lance and all that, But yeah, so far so good. So, and they got some classic other titles coming that are non-absolute titles but I'm excited about. They're gonna have a new Doom Patrol series and a new Legion of Superheroes series, which is spinning out of some Superman stuff that I haven't read yet. But I plan on going back to the store this weekend to talk to the owner and maybe pick up a few more issues to get me current on some stuff. All right, well, that's it until my next regular scheduled video, which will be around the 1st of September, beginning of next month. And I'll have hopefully some other interesting stuff to show you that I have started on. Not sure what they will be, but yeah, I don't want to get bored, so there's nothing wrong with switching to a different project if you're tired of, stitching on something in same color over and over. All right, so I'm hoping third time's a charm, because I don't want to have to try and record this a fourth time. But I will see you all in a few weeks, a couple weeks. Till next time, Captain Cross-Stitch signing off. Be good, be there, be square, all that fun stuff. Have fun, be safe, keep on stitching. Bye.